Hey everyone, welcome to a brand new mod pack from FTB. This is FTB Inventions, and I'm joined here today with TFox83. This is kind of more or less like a prelude to my playthrough, and just gonna run through, do a little covering of what the mod pack is, and T-Fox can kind of tell us his thoughts about it. So what's going on, T-Fox?
Nothing much, man. Excited to jump in and play.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we're playing on the FTB1 server as well, which is always fun. I love playing on the FTB1 servers, honestly.
Yeah, it's about like 2-3 days old now. I've got like a little bit of a build going, and you saw what I've done so far. I think I have a pulverizer is about as far as I've gotten in the tech tree. But yeah, everybody's just starting to jump in and play, and it's been fun so far.
Oh yeah, like you have a really cool looking build, and he always loves building next to his jungles, I have to say.
Yep.
I went out and I went to T-Fox's place first. I checked out and I found he had a nice little place. I'm probably, you know what I'll do? I'll probably go ahead and throw up a little bit of gameplay over that, like here, so that way people can kind of see which your place actually looks like. And then from there, I just kind of ran out in a big circle, started looking for some place to kind of do my own thing, and found this nice little island right here. And here's the map, and pretty much how far away we are from each other. And nice little meadows biome. We got quite a few mods in here that are pretty cool. And I'm gonna go ahead and let T-Fox go ahead and take it away and tell us a little bit about the pack here and his, well, thoughts on making it.
Yeah, so as everybody knows, and I'm sure they've seen your previous playthroughs of like Feed the Beast Infinity, and I think you did one on expert mode as well, which was very it wasn't really built for the casual modded Minecraft player. There was a lot of forced progression, and a lot of people just hunkered down in a cave and just went through the mods to try to get to in-game. And I mean, it took weeks just to get to Applied Energistics. And then we did Infinity Evolved Skyblock, and it was basically forced expert mode. There was not even a normal mode in that pack. So, of course, everybody's ready to get to 1.9, and I'm just as ready as everybody else is as well. But unfortunately, there's just not enough content, stable content, that's ready for me to make an FTB quality mod pack. So I decided, let's go ahead and have one last fun play of 1.7 and let the mods kind of stable out a little bit and have some more stuff available for 1.9. Then in a few months we'll be working in 1.9. But for now I decided I wanted something that's a little bit different than what we've already had. But from experience and from analytics and all, we know that the kitchen sink style packs do the best. People like just wide open mod packs. The kind of themed HQM style packs, they have their own place and they do extremely well as also, but they take a long time to develop, and so we don't have a ton of time left in 1.7. I said, you know what, I'm gonna throw something together and see what we can put together. So actually, not this past weekend, the weekend before, I woke up with the idea that I wanted to do just a fun tech-based mod pack, and so I came up with this, and it has Equivalent Exchange 3 in it, which right now Pymar is finishing that mod, or at least the parts that are in. He's getting polished and getting the bugs out of it for us, and we have Equivalent Exchange 3, and so all the raw resources in the world and the building blocks and stuff that you can find in the world all have an EMC value, which make it really nice. You don't have to spend so much time mining. You can kind of get your tablet, and there's no way to automate it, which is nice, so it's not too overpowered. And if you don't want to use EE3, it's 100% optional, of course, but it will help ease the pain of resource gathering, which in the last 2 packs that I've done, that has been a pain. So this pack is truly for somebody that likes to build, make cool factories, and just have fun. There's not a ton of balance in it, but yet there is some in certain areas of the pack. One cool thing is we added the addition of Tech Reborn, which for people that are not familiar with Tech Reborn, it's basically like Greg Tech from Minecraft 1.4.7. So if you remember Ultimate, which was a Feed the Beast pack done about 3 years ago, it had Greg Tech, and it was a really fun version of Greg Tech. It wasn't overwhelming. It added just enough fun stuff to give a little bit of progression to IC2 and some other mods. And So you'll see we do have that. So that's really fun. So to get a quarry is a little bit tougher than normal. It takes titanium, if people remember that, but it's really fun. It's not grindy. It's really neat to get into. And there's the very in-game stuff like the big fusion reactors and stuff that are in here as well. So if you really want to go crazy in-game, it's here. It's just it's not necessary. We have a nice suite of mods that you'll recognize, and there's also a handful of mods that you probably won't recognize. So I know Bentley was going through the mod list earlier, and there was quite a few he didn't recognize, which is always good.
I love playing with new mods.
Yeah, so it lets you, kind of start out differently. There's a lot of starting mods that people are so used to in 1.7, just jumping in and starting with Tinkers and stuff like that.
And FTB utilities.
Yeah, extra utilities, Tinkers, it's not present. We have a custom version of Applied Energistics 2, which has all the P2P stuff disabled. It's not even included in the mod, so it should be a lot more server friendly, a little bit more balanced. You really have to focus on the channel network and stuff. And there's a lot of stuff set up for crafting. There's logistics pipes and stuff like that if you want to have fun with those. But mainly it's the idea is you just kind of have fun, and build till your heart's content. There's no creative flight. Let me rephrase that. There is a creative style flight, obviously, from Gravity Suit and from Simply Jetpacks, but they do require quite a bit of power. There's no flying ring or something you can just throw in your bubble slot and fly for the rest of the game. So there's a few things that are a little bit more difficult than I would say, like FTB Infinity, but then there's a lot of things that the restrictions are lifted, like resource gathering and all. There's no dimensional mods except for Aroma's mining dimension, so we do have a mining world. But it's very, very server friendly, and there is, in the FTB Utilities guide, there's a whole list of things that I've done that I've disabled from mods, and that's purely just for performance enhancements. And I will say, like, my FPS is really stable and a lot higher than it is in Infinity, and I've noticed on the server it's definitely, the performance is so much better. I mean, with 4 or 5 people on, we're only using 10 to 15 milliseconds update time. Normally we'd be using
awesome.
We'd be using close to 40 in Infinity, even in a new world. So the performance has been awesome so far on the pack, but it's still a very full pack. There's still over 150
we're still in
FML.
1710, which some people might be a little confused on because I've done like a 1.8 pack, I think, but just wanted to point that out as well real quick, that we are indeed playing in a 1.710 pack.
Yeah, and I'm ready to get to 1.9 just as fast as everybody else is.
Yeah.
But, I just can't. There's not quite the content there for me to be able to sit down and make a stable 1.9 pack for Feed the Beast. So, that day will be here, and it'll be here before we know it. A few months from now, hopefully mid-summer or so, maybe we can look at doing Infinity 1.9. But I don't want to leave everybody with no FTB packs in the meantime. So, of course, if Stay Unstable for 1.9 will be out in a few weeks, but that's just something to have a little fun with. We do world resets all the time with that, and it's a very light pack. It's missing a ton of stuff, and for me, it's kind of boring to play, but it's mainly a tool to help the mod developers find bugs and stuff and get
to
the
try
mods
out new
stable.
mods for other people too.
Yeah, exactly, and it gives a chance for Forge to get stable, and it just helps everybody out. And the quicker that stuff gets stable, the quicker we can go on to making large mod packs in 1.9. But that day will come. But for now, this is just kind of something that I threw together for the more casual style builders and players out there. And it's even got like soul shards, which, if you remember that.
Oh, dude, I loved soul shards.
Yeah, from Feed the Beast Ultimate. So there's a lot of nostalgia in playing this pack. If you're a veteran modded Minecraft player, you'll appreciate that aspect of it. I've just, by getting started, I've been using gym tools. I haven't used those in forever because we had Tinkers,
Which by the way, I have some of T-Fox's hand-me-downs, which
those are
is
my
what I've been
first,
using.
Suite of tools.
And kind of finishing them off myself and trying to find up some new resources in the meantime. So, but yeah.
Yeah, Engineer's Toolbox, something cool that we don't have in anything 1.7. So I've been playing with that myself, and that's been really fun so far. So that's a nice addition to the pack, and I'm really liking Tech Reborn myself because I really like the Greg Tech from back in that era of Minecraft. That was fun to me. I'm not such a huge fan of the new Greg Tech. It's a little overwhelming. It's a lot of, it's almost like Terraformer Craft, where it's fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's just not quite my style. I like a more relaxed style, and this pack gives me that. Just jump in, have fun. Balance is kind of not thrown out the window, but not a lot of things were put in. Like, obviously if I was worried about balance, we wouldn't have EE3.
Exactly.
But what I did make sure of is anything that requires a machine to process does not have an equivalent exchange value. It's just all your raw resources and stuff. So there's minimal exploits, with E3 like there used to be. So, you can't make your EMC farms like your blaze rods. I remember those things from back in like Tekkit Classic and stuff. You could make like the blaze farm machines that would just macerate a blaze rod, and you could get the leftovers.
You just recycle literally the blaze rods and get extra.
You'd have red matter in an hour, and you're in the game. You can get anything you wanted. So it's not quite, you can't abuse it like that, but you can abuse it in some ways. I have a tier 5 soul shard already going, and my blaze rods are getting turned into diamonds, but I do have to manually turn those into diamonds. There's no way to automate the tablet, which is pretty nice. But it does give me the ability to get iron and stuff along those lines, so I can jump in and go in and start making the factory that I want to build and do some other fun things. And then I'll probably back off of E3 a little bit, other than just decorative blocks and such. And as of right now, like the version that Bentley and I have is a private beta that we're testing. So not everything that is going to have an EMC value has it yet. There's still a little bit of bugs with the mod. So eventually I want to get marble and andesite and basalt and all that fun stuff, so it'll have EMC value. So once you learn it, you can have as much as you want, because it's really just a cosmetic building block. So that'll be in soon. And I don't really have an ETA on the pack, but once we get EE3 all wrapped up, and we pretty much go through Tech Reborn, we also have a whole group of beta testers on a completely different server playing through as well, and they're going as fast as they can, testing stuff, where this is more for streamers and YouTubers, and this is a casual build server that'll be around for 3 or 4 months. Yeah, the beta test server gets reset a lot and stuff, but their job is to look for bugs and stuff more so than us, and so they're power playing through. So I would say hopefully within like 2 weeks from now, I don't know when Bentley plans on putting up this video, but I would say, by mid-May, this will be a public pack that will come out, and this is going to wrap up our 1.710 releases. So definitely look forward to getting this out to everybody.
Dude, it's going to be awesome. I love it. And actually, with Curse, which is where, if anyone wants, they can download this when it's released. But I believe, isn't there a way I can upload my worlds through there? Like if I was playing a single player world or something?
Yes, there is a way you can host like maps in Curse through your account, and it is nice because it's not like Dropbox, something you have to worry about bandwidth. It's all unlimited, So, but yes, you could put single player worlds up there.
But now I'm gonna go ahead and go through this, because some people might be asking about like a world download for the server here. I don't know how well that's gonna work out. Sometimes they get pretty big.
Yeah, I usually don't do world downloads of servers, because once we have more players on, for one, there's a lot of personal information of other players that gets stored in a server, so that's one reason I don't like providing server downloads. And two, the server files will get 5 to 10 gigabytes in size.
Exactly.
And for one, I don't even know if Curse would host that large a file. And two, majority of people's internet,
it's hard for them to get that.
Yeah, I can't just say, oh, well, I'm going to give you Bentley's little area he played in. It doesn't really work like that. It's either all or nothing for the most part. So unfortunately, with a server, world downloads just don't do very well, and there's a lot of weird issues once you convert them into single player as well. So
yeah, I kind of wanted to run that through, because I know I get a lot of people asking about that sometimes, is about like, can we have the server or can we have the single player world? Well, right now I'm on a server, so there's your answer.
Yeah, single player though, I mean, now the way Curse has set up, that would be really easy for you to do on your future series when you do play in single player, which is really nice.
Oh yeah, for sure. So I'll have to I'll have to keep that in mind and let everyone poke at me to remind me to do those kind of things as well. But, oh, nice. Thank you, sir. I've been clearing out the caves down here, and I gotta say, this is not too bad. This is a nice little start for me to kind of do a little bit more mining down here. But, yeah, I gotta say, I got a little description more of what T-Fox set up the pack as, and I'm actually going to set some time aside and read that in a little bit. I'm trying to remember which way I was making out. There we go. And I'm going to read that off.
I'm following.
Yeah, I'm going to read that off here in a little bit. But expectations for the pack, I'm going to wind up doing a nice little playthrough of this. I'm going to focus on trying my best to finish it this time, because I know of a couple of the other FTB1 servers that, well, we've had worlds on. I didn't quite finish just because I've spent a lot of time, like, away. But this time, we're starting early, and hopefully I'll be able to get just right into it and, well, finish it up. So T-Fox said we got like 3 or 4, like what, 3 months maybe?
Yeah, I would say, my plan is to keep this one around until I can replace it with probably what will become the first version of Infinity for 1.9. My best guess is going to be probably closer to in summer. So what's it now? May. It's beginning of May. So May, June, July, pushing into August, so 3 or 4 months.
That's awesome. That'd be plenty enough time for me to get far enough. And I'm thinking actually that with the way I've gotten imagined thus far, because there's a lot of really cool mods in here that I haven't messed around with, for one, but there's also some other mods that I haven't really poked around with myself that I really should have messed more in depth with earlier on. Things that involve trains, things like Steve's carts, railcraft, and actually getting in more in depth with trains. So I'm gonna probably do a little bit of a theme around kind of trains here, and we're gonna kind of talking together with T-Fox and Teddy about setting up some really cool train systems between here and T-Fox's place, and also between here and Teddy's place. Maybe even a nice little triangular area kind of idea.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, because every time I go in with somebody on a build, like, I'm kind of like you. My time's a little bit limited, and I kind of play at weird times around work and stuff along those lines, and so it's hard to do a build with somebody directly, but it is fun to be able to play in a server environment and say, hey, let's connect our bases up with a nice rail network, and that way, we can kind of still do things on our own time, but yet still do some community style builds, and take time to make the track not just be straight through the ground. We'll make it go through the train in between us, which is actually really nice. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I've actually been wanting to do it for a while, and then I don't know.
And the last few packs we've played, it's not been easy. I mean, in expert mode, like getting through railcraft, like the last thing you want to do is waste all your resources on tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
Like all the creosote and all that stuff.
And I think it required steel for a lot of the other stuff too, didn't it?
It did. So now, like where we have, equivalent exchange, so we can just get all the iron we need, and we still need to get creosote because it still requires a machine to process the tracks, but the raw resources will be really easy to get now, so we won't feel guilty making a couple thousand tracks,
Exactly.
So it'll be something where we can easily, as far as resources will be easy, it'll be easy for us. It'll just be the time building it, but I enjoy that, so.
Yeah, that won't be very hard to do, and then I do plan on trying to make it look nice. I want to make things look really, really nice. And of course, that's just kind of my play style anyway.
Yeah, we have better builders wands, which adds a lot of cool building
wands. Wait,
kind
what?
Of like, yeah, better? It's like, do you remember the X Utilities building wand?
Yeah.
So we have a mod that adds basically very similar wands. They're very cheap, and they really help out with like repetitive style building. So
what?
I haven't personally messed with them yet, but I'm looking forward to getting them.
I take it they take up durability.
That I don't know.
It looks like they do, because one of them says the Unbreakable wand.
Oh yeah, I see that. Yeah, that must be like creative. Oh, it takes a nether star.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Interesting. I love the builder's wands.
Max 16,000 blocks? Holy cow.
Wait, so we could build up 16,000 blocks?
I don't know. Like the diamond wand does 1,561 blocks. I have no idea. I haven't messed with them, but I heard they're really cool, and it was suggested to me to put in here, and I think I think it's a good fit because it is, like I said, we are going more towards like, you know, cosmetic fun builds, and with this pack,
it's basically all of
the
way I see it is it's basically all of the tech and gathering of the resources that you want for the building and creativity that you can make, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, I told you my plan. I think my plan is, you know, I used to love, like, because this has so much nostalgia for me getting into this pack, and I used to love doing like big solar panel factories. And I mean, who didn't make one of those in Tekkit, you know?
Right.
And in Tekkit, it was resource gathering was probably a little bit easier because you had condensers and stuff. We don't have quite that ease, but it's still pretty easy to get resources with E3. And I want to do something along those lines, but I don't want to use applied energistics to just hit a button and have it all done in these blocks. I want to do, like I told you, I'd like to use immersive engineering and do a conveyor belt system and the big assemblers, and kind of like Factorio, you know, just kind of have like a big factory floor with all the assemblers putting together all these different pieces and making a solar panel. But just a stupid, overly complicated crafting operation is what I want to do. Like, you know, obviously I could do it in 5 blocks with applied energistics, but I've done that for years now playing Minecraft.
All played,
I know,
with applied energistics for the longest time, and it's just it's nice to change it up.
Yeah, and you know, when I first made this pack, I didn't have applied energistics in it, and I got a lot of people are like, we need AE, nobody's gonna play it without AE, and I said, well, people play it, but I agree, like it is one of those mods that's kind of core to a tech-based pack, and I said, well, if I can get rid of some of the things that cause problems, I will, and like I said earlier, you know, the P2P systems are gone now, so that helps some performance and also some exploits and stuff. So I'll probably use applied energistics for some storage. You know, because it is nice and convenient to be able to access all your stuff, you know, around your base and all.
Yeah, the sorting of the
and it is nice to craft stuff in the crafting terminal. You know, I won't lie, that's probably the easiest. You know, it's really nice, and I will probably jump into that pretty soon. But as far as all the auto crafting stuff, I kind of want to take advantage of the big multi-block stuff and have, like, I want to see items moving around and being processed, and you know, I really miss that side of things, you know, because with AE you don't see anything. It just is all done behind the scenes. It's a great mod, don't get me wrong, but I just want to change for myself and the play style. And I think it'd be so cool just to watch all these conveyor belts take these items and go into machines and spit them out, and you know, maybe have some trains running around, you know, dropping off, you know, keeping everything supplied with copper and tin and all that kind of stuff. I think I think that could be really fun, and go with almost like a steampunk look, or maybe like this big factory or something. I don't know.
I was doing some work like that in Mod Life 3 myself. I was doing some really cool factory setup, and it was going pretty good. Actually, I'm going to be finishing it up on a live stream. And
oh, nice.
It's pretty awesome. It's basically like an ammunition and weapons factory.
Oh, that's cool.
So I'm making like all sorts of like modular turrets, ammunition, and everything in the factory.
That's really fun. Yeah, and I kind of think with this pack, you almost need, because it is an open-ended pack, you kind of almost need to set yourself a little bit of a goal in this pack. Because it is very open-ended, and there isn't a ton of progression. You know, the progression is what you make of it. You know, if you want to go the IC2 route and jump down Greg Tech, there is quite a bit of progression there. But it's not super, super difficult, especially if you're coming right off of Infinity Expert mode.
Right.
You know, so like my thing is I want to do that, like either whether it's solar panels or whatever kind of stupidly overcomplicated crafting process, whatever I choose, that's what I want to do. So that's kind of my goal in this pack. But at the same time, I want to make it look cool and make it look nice. So I'm going to spend a lot of time cosmetically making things look nice at the same time.
Take your time with everything.
Yeah, and not just say, oh, tomorrow I've got my factory floor done. Like, I want to use a lot of chisel parts and, you know, just make everything look really cool. And like I said, I just want stupid overcomplicated stuff. Like, if I need to get an item from point A to point B, like, yeah, you can use an inner chest, but I might use a train, or something that just to change it up and keep me focused and playing. And I think if you take this pack and you have that mindset, this will be a really fun pack that you'll be able to play for a couple months for sure.
And not to mention the replayability that it will have if you
of course
want to change it up. You know, a lot of people, I think, try to sit here and they do the same thing over and over again. And obviously, for me, that does playthroughs and series, that gets boring. I'm sorry.
It does. Quick.
It does. It gets very old very quickly. And this is why I like to change things up. And that's what I'm going to wind up doing in this. I'm going to try to do my best to not use the same things all the time. Don't get me wrong. I'll probably wind up using, ender chests or something like that, because there is a convenience to it in some
of course,
spots.
I'm using some right now.
Yeah, that's just like, it's kind of something you really might need in a particular situation. So
yeah, I mean, if you're bringing a fluid from the nether or something along those lines, like, it just, it's so tedious and dumb to use Railcraft, like, with the portals, because they bug out so much, and it's just mechanics at that point. So just use an ender chest and be done with it. Like, that's how I am with that kind of stuff. But if I've got to move fluid 20 blocks, maybe I won't use an ender chest. Maybe I'll think of something cool.
Exactly. I like it.
I think if you have that kind of open mind going into this pack, you'll get a lot out of it. If you have the mind coming right off of FTB Expert mode or Infinity Expert mode, and you want to play something like that, don't even bother with this pack, because you're going to get bored extremely quick. But if this is definitely made for the casual players,
right?
And it's a niche that I really haven't hit much in the whole entire lineup of 1/7 packs. So, I apologize it took so long, but, I think it was much needed. And it does feel a lot like Infinity to a lot of people. They look at the mod list and they're like, oh, this is just Infinity, but it's really not. There's a lot of differences. One, performance is so much better. Yeah, no, I mean, some people see it, some people don't. I personally don't, but, you're going to notice a ton of performance increases server and client side, which is really, really nice. And you're losing all the magic stuff. There is 0 magic mods. Like some people might consider E3 magic. I guess you could, but
it kind of is.
But that would be the only thing remotely close to magic. Basically you don't have there's no Thaumcraft, Botania, Blood Magic, those big main magic mods that you see in a lot of our packs are not here. So it does make it change it up a bit, and there's quite a few mods missing that you've gotten really accustomed to in 1.7. But I will assure you, after a couple days of playing, you won't miss them anymore. You'll occasionally miss a little piece of it here and there. Like, I haven't really missed X utilities until I went to go store a bunch of fluid, and I was like, oh man, a drum would be nice. But I was like, well, we've got open block tanks. They're cool too. And, they fixed the rendering issues with them months ago where they cause lag. So I'm using a ton of them at my base, and they seem to be working well. So, there's a replacement for everything. It's just not what you're used to a lot of times. So,
right.
But if you kind of set that stuff aside and just go in open-minded and maybe set yourself somewhat of a goal, I think you'll have a lot of fun. It'll be great for servers too.
Yeah, from what I can tell so far, it's just us 3 on here, and I can see Teddy is actually kind of having a little bit of a problem with his connection. He's been talking about that, and I can actually see from holding tab.
He's not doing good at all. He has almost a 200 ping, but that is strictly on his end. He's having some internet issues, it sounds like. But we've got about, well, you can look in the little server info and see server tops, and let's see, time played. You can look and see we've had 23 people that have logged on. Quite a few people have already logged couple hours in already, and it's a very new server.
User joined your channel.
Right. And it's a tech brew.
Oh, it's a tech brew.
What's going on, tech brew?
Guys?
Bentley's recording an episode, by the way.
Yeah, we're doing like a little bit of a prelude to the pack of FTB inventions thus far.
Very nice.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I'm actually looking through and seeing all of the how long everyone's been kind of playing thus far in certain spots. So
I'm kind of guilty of playing a lot already.
Well, you usually probably AFK at your computer and stuff.
Yeah, that is a problem because I'll be like working during the day and then I'll log in with the intent to play and then I'll get sidetracked and then it's like 4 hours later I'm like, oops, I'm still on the server. And I did generate a little bit of train near spawn, so that I let that run overnight when the server first came up. So that's how I logged quite a few hours. So I've only actually probably played a third of those hours that are shown there. If that makes sense.
Well, true. That's usually how you are when you're on the FTB1 servers.
Yeah, but with 1.7.10 stuff winding down, I've got a little bit more time right now to play. So over the next few weeks, I'll be putting my fair share of time in on the weekdays, progressing along. So I'm really having fun so far. It's making me think a little bit outside the box 'cause I'm not used to not having some stuff, but I am really enjoying that though, and hopefully everybody else will.
Oh, I'm sure they will. For people that are wanting to try the pack out, I'm fairly certain that, if it's not their cup of tea, they'll probably notice it right off the bat, like you said. And,
yeah.
Otherwise, they'll probably just jump right in and start enjoying it like it's just another pack.
Yep.
But I'm trying to figure out how to get this stone wand how to work, and I don't really see. I'm thinking there's a control.
Did you make one already?
Yeah, better. Okay, hold on. Yeah, change mode. Let's set this
there
to
you go.
key. Okay. K cool? K is cool. What do you know? Extend left. Oh.
Whoa.
That's
Fancy.
cool. Let's see. K. Extend left and top from the original. Extend left and right from the original block. No building on top or bottom face. Oh, okay. So I'm assuming.
I have auto smelt, so there's some stone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't like auto smelt, but it was enchant, vanilla table enchant.
Yeah, so I'm guessing this particular version, because it's stone, iron, has a mode that can only do horizontal, and it looks like diamond actually has no limit. So anyway, I think that's a good point for us to wrap up the prelude here to FTB Inventions, and hopefully, maybe we showed you some light on FTB Inventions on whether or not you might want to try it. Maybe not, but regardless, I will be starting up a playthrough of this very soon, possibly the next day after you see this. So with that being said, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys have any, I would say helpful tips and tricks, but you know what? I don't really think that they have access to this just yet. So we're just going to say thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. We'll see you guys next time. And until then, goodbye. Thank you for joining me, T-Fox, and hopping in.
Yes,
Brew.
of course, anytime. I'm sure I'll see you quite a few times in this season since we'll be doing a few things together. So.
Oh, yeah. So, all right. Later, guys.